Hi and welcome to my channel. I am Sarah. Was inspired to make this video by the book Sincero, You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. So I've been listening to this book on audio because I really enjoy listening to motivational books narrated by the author on Audible. I don't like to have all of my books off of Audible. There are certain genres that I really enjoy reading. I just feel like this book has been so instrumental in changing my life for the better that I just want to share it with you. I want you to experience this kind of positivity as well. So one of the things that Jen Sincero kind of points out that made me realize that I wanted to change was that she started kind of opening my eyes to how our culture has been conditioned into feeling ashamed about expressing love for ourselves around others. We don't like to compliment ourselves. We don't like to brag about things we've done. We don't like to state how much we've accomplished. We kind of talk ourselves down to other people for fear out of being conceited or egotistical or full of ourselves. And just the way that she puts it makes you realize how ridiculous it is to not love yourself, to be ashamed to love yourself, like loving yourself is a bad thing. Loving yourself is so important because it helps us be able to love other people. It also helps us to be kind to other people. It helps us explore different parts of our own self. It helps us be more kind to ourselves. It helps us to create more positivity in our life, and it also helps you be successful. When you feel good about yourself, you feel like you can do almost anything. That's the way that it works. Positivity breeds positivity, and negativity breeds negativity. So when you sit there and hate on yourself or act so self-deprecating, you are inviting negativity in your life, and so you aren't going to be able to achieve the things that you want. And in our culture, we're also so focused on the competing aspect of our culture. We are all competing against each other, not working with each other. We're all jealous of what the other person has. We feel like we have to have these things in order to be successful, and that's not the way that it has to be. And I love that she points out these things in this book. I really encourage you to pick up this book, whether you want to purchase it from a bookstore, e-reader, or listen to it on Audible. It's completely your choice, but I do feel like this book is so important. Also wanted to point out that I love this book called 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz, and that one has really inspired a lot of change in my life. It's so simple. It's a short book, but it's so profound, and it really helps you look deeper inside yourself and look at the things that you can change your perceptions in order to create a much happier and abundant life. I also really felt like this subject was so important because mental health has been at a very big decline lately. We have lost understanding for one another, and when we are more compassionate with ourselves and understanding of ourselves, then we can learn to be compassionate and understanding towards other people. When we can be there for ourselves, we can learn to be there for other people. It is such an important thing and skill to have in your life. So I wanted to talk about 5 things that I love about myself. It has taken me so long for me to even say that I love myself. I have torn myself down my whole life. I've thought that I'm not good enough. I have acted like I'll never be the things that I want to be. I have taught myself that I'm a failure, and none of those things are true. All of those things have changed by practicing self-love and gratitude. I really wanted to focus on things that I know are only going to improve with time. Sometimes I thought this was a burden because I would be overwhelmed by other people's emotions constantly, so I really became an introvert and isolated because I didn't want to have to deal with other people's emotions when I was dealing with all of my own stuff. But once I really moved past that, I realized that it's helped me develop a deeper understanding for other people, and I find beauty in almost everyone, and that is so important. The second thing that I love about myself is that I'm a dreamer. A lot of people like to think that dreams are silly and they're you need to be more practical. And while that is really important to have realistic goals, dreaming has provided me so much strength to get out of really bad situations that I am forever grateful for my dreams and for me being a dreamer. It has helped me in my darkest times, and it's always given me hope and light in the most awful situations and situations where I really didn't think that I could go on. Dreams to me are what help you keep going. I don't know what people do when they don't have dreams. Like, what do you have to look forward to if you don't have a dream, if you don't have a goal? The third thing that I love about myself is that I am persistent. This kind of goes along with the dreaming. I never really give up. I do go through periods where I kind of slow down or start second guessing myself or doubting myself, but I always end up picking back up and getting back into whatever it was that I wanted to do in the first place. I really don't give up, and it may be a really long period of time before I achieve what I wanted to, but I always keep persistent, and that is such an important thing for me. The fourth thing is that I'm an active listener. That means that I don't sit there and get distracted. I don't sit there on my phone while somebody is talking to me. I really am engaged in the conversation. I get to learn so much about the other person and learn different perspectives and different opinions, and it helps shape me into a better person, and it helps me learn so much more about you that I get to love more about you. Well, actively listening really helps people feel important. So I really think that's a skill that most people need to work on and implement into their lives, because active listening lets a person know that they're important and that you care. The fifth thing that I love about myself is I am not a perfect mom. And I know this sounds kind of contradictory because it's kind of a negative statement, because I don't think that you can ever attain the level of perfection that you really want. I think that perfect doesn't exist. And when I say I'm not a perfect mom, what I'm saying is I'm not going to subscribe to mom shaming. I believe that every kid is different, every mom is different, and every situation is different. I don't think there's one right way to parent and one wrong way to parent. So I completely parented both of my kids different. I have two boys. One of them is 7 and one of them is a little over a year old. With my first one, I felt like I did everything wrong, and so I equated that with being a failure and being a horrible mom. I felt like our relationship was never going to be what I wanted it to be, and that was a really big problem. And it affected my self-esteem in being a parent. It affected everything. So I formula fed him. I sent him to daycare a lot earlier than I wanted to. I let him watch TV sometimes. I didn't feed him organic food. And then with this one, I stay at home. I breastfeed him. He doesn't really watch that much TV. I'm so active in his life right now. And that doesn't mean that I failed with my first one. It doesn't mean that I have a stronger relationship with one of them over the other. They're both so special, and they're both happy and thriving children, and I'm a happy and thriving mom. I don't want to ever try to be a perfect mom. I want to be the right mom for me and for my kids, and I want to have a happy, healthy life with both of my kids. I almost let the idea of perfection stop me from making this video. So I've been wanting to do YouTube for such a long time, but I was always waiting for this right moment. I was always waiting for all the right equipment, for my makeup to be absolutely perfect, for my hair to be perfect, which never happens. I will always have this little thing right here. Yep, it never goes away. I was just waiting for all these things to be completely perfect, and it's never going to happen. So I was waiting for tomorrow to come. Basically, this is how I put it. I was waiting for tomorrow to come, but tomorrow never came. So I don't think that me waiting until everything was perfect to make this video was going to be right for me, because it never really was going to be perfect. And this is something that I've wanted to do for so long, and a message that I've wanted to share. And I'm doing it. I'm not going to let the idea of perfection stop me. I am so happy that I get to sit here in front of you today and talk about this, and that I can actually be honest when I say that I do love myself, and that it's a daily a daily practice that I do. I really try to say at least one positive thing to myself. And something that I also try to do is when I say a negative thing to myself, I try to replace it with something positive, because I want to fill myself with positivity so I can give out positivity. I believe what you take in is what you give out. So please love yourself, love others, treat each other with kindness, lift each other up. You do not have to compete. You do not have to be the same person. You don't have to share the same opinions with every person that you interact with. You can still be friends with people that come from different backgrounds, have different political views, have different opinions about stuff. It doesn't have to separate us. You're perfect just the way you are right now. Whatever you're doing right now is what you're supposed to be doing. Things will get better, things will get worse. Life is very unpredictable and very unstable. But if you love yourself, you're gonna be okay no matter what happens. No matter how things turn out, you're gonna be okay if you love yourself and you love your life and you have positivity in your life. You're not alone. I am so happy that I stumbled upon this book, that I got to experience all of the gifts that it's given me, that it's resounded so deeply with me, that now I am so blessed that I get to have this positive life. And it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to have moments where I do talk negative to myself or say that I hate something about myself, but I really just try to be present and aware of the things that I tell myself so that I can replace it with positive things. Because one thing I've noticed about almost everybody, if we hear one positive thing and one negative thing, the likelihood of us remembering that positive thing isn't as high as us remembering this negative thing. So really what we have to do is we have to constantly tell us the positive things to negate the negative things that we've told ourselves or been told. How many really think about it. How much negative things could you say about yourself? The list is, or just say about things that have been told to you. The list is so long versus the positive side, and that's a shame. It should be the opposite. We should love so much about ourselves and so much about our lives and so much about our friends and our kids and our family. It's so important to express love and to receive love. It's what the world needs, and it's what we need as a society. We need it so much. It's part of being a human being, is having connections with people. I am going to be doing different types of content, and I would love to hear different things that you would like me to do, and maybe I'll do them, maybe I won't, but I'd love to hear your opinions and see what you think would be good to watch. So please comment below things that you love about yourself. I'd love to hear the things that you can come up with. They can be physical, they can be mental, they can be personality, they can be, or even just things that you love that are happening in your life right now. Anything you can do, say that's positive, I want to hear it. I want to hear your positivity. I want to know that you're being kind to yourself. So please comment below. If you want, you can hit the subscribe button. I would love that. And if you like this video, hit like. If you don't, then hit dislike, so I know that this isn't the kind of content that you want. I am so happy I got to do this video with you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.